Hello everyone and welcome to the Game Expert. Today I'm going to be doing another video, a very special video, considering it has been several months since the last time I recorded one of these for my main channel, the Game Expert. I hope you can join me today because we're going to be looking at a very special product that you most likely haven't heard of, called the R4 3DS Revolution 4DS, which I got in another country a while ago. It was about £10 and it promised quite a lot of games for the 3DS, over like 20 or 30 or 50, I forgot exactly the number, but it was a lot of games, and we're going to be covering them today and see what this has to offer for the 3DS. But first of all, I'd like to just recap a bit what the 3DS is, what the Nintendo 3DS console is, as it came out almost 10 years ago to this day, and it's basically just a revised console, a revised version of the Nintendo DS, which was very successful. It sold almost 150 million units, and it became very popular. While the Nintendo 3DS had quite a shaky start initially, it didn't pick off as well as Nintendo wanted it to, but bit by bit, Nintendo kept bringing out really great first-party games for it, including Super Mario 3D Land, New Super Mario Bros. 2, Legend of Zelda, lots of different games. And the main selling point for the 3DS was that it had this glasses-free 3D functionality. And I remember when I first got it, I was really stunned by this gimmick that it had. I was really excited about it. And to this day, it still is pretty impressive, although they have increased it, like made it better with a new Nintendo 3DS model as well. I still have the standard edition over here. The original Nintendo 3DS is sold around 70 million units roughly, so it was definitely had a good sales in its lifetime. So just bringing out the good old 3DS system. You might have one of these yourself, or you might not, but it's a very reliable system. I've had it for ages now, maybe 10 years since it first came out, and it still works just fine. Obviously the Switch has come out and made the 3DS line of systems almost redundant because of how better it is, really, but I still think it's a pretty affordable and enjoyable console. One of the things that I like most about the 3DS is that it has a huge library of games, because it has the whole 3DS's lifetime of games, as well as the functionality of being able to be backward compatible with DS games as well. We're just gonna go ahead and take this creepypasta game out, which doesn't have a cover, and open this bad boy up. We're gonna take a closer look at the box as well. Yeah, it's weird. It looks just very shiny, like the R4 logo. If you actually look really closely at it, I can't. That looks like, that looks like the Fantastic Four, like Shark Boy and Lava Girl reflected onto it, just as an effect. It seems to boast a lot of different features. So it has support SD, HC, micro SD, 4G, 8G, 32 gigabytes. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like a lot of big numbers and letters jumbled together. Micro SD is obviously an SD card, so I'm assuming that just means it has a lot of storage on it. Second generation storage device. No booting tool required. That's great, because I don't have any booting tools on me as far as I'm aware. Uses micro SD card. FAT 16 or 32. I'm going to ignore that. I don't know what the FAT means, why it says 16 or 32. I assume I only have one of these. I don't know how you choose the options. But okay. Supports any micro SD card speed with no lag in game. Great, I don't want there to be lag. Supports clean ROM, drag and drop, works on any OS, built-in no pass. Automatically detects save type, saved. Okay, this is just a bunch of gibberish at this point. Although, one thing that is interesting about it is that it says it supports Wi-Fi. So it says here that it's version 1.6, so that means it's probably updated as well. It's probably quite a recent addition, I'd assume, considering that version 1.0, maybe it had quite a few games. Maybe 1.6 has runs a bit smoother, you know, things like that. But anyway, let's open this red box up and see what is in here. Got a good old Mario on the front. You gotta love that. And here we have it. The Revolution for DS is basically the same art as on the cover. It's got this nice, shiny, glossy little cartridge. There's a, oops. Okay. Yeah, so we have this, and in here we have a little, if you can see it, we have a little micro SD card as well, which is unusual for DS games, to say the least. But here we have it. Yeah, it's definitely a DS cartridge, because the 3DS games have a little edge here, if I can find one. But yeah, I'm gonna put this SD card back in, because I'm assuming that it has all the games on it. But yeah, I'm just gonna open up my trusty old case of games. Oh no, some fell out. Okay, so let's see. This is Smash Bros. For 3DS. Is a fine example I can use. So basically, the difference between a 3DS game and a DS game is that the 3D ones have a little etch there, kind of a little bump coming out, if you can see, and the DS games are just pretty much a straight square with no bumps or anything. So that's how you can tell the difference between them. And these are usually kind of a white color. I've never actually seen a game for the DS that was kind of this reddish color. We're gonna pop it into the 3DS now, see what it has to, what's able to do. Just gonna carefully slot it in there, and okay, it's not showing anything. It's not coming up. That may be a problem. Gonna try that again. Maybe it's got a bit dusty. Maybe I haven't opened it. You know, I travel overseas and everything. Might blow on it a bit. Maybe check that this is, you know, in properly. If that's got to do with it. Let's try this again. It's just not recognizing the cartridge. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So now, okay. So, as you can see here, as I've inserted this cartridge in, it seems to recognize a Metroid Prime Hunters demo version from Nintendo, which is, again, confusing, because demos don't usually come with cartridges. Demos are usually downloadable from the eShop. But hey, let's go. Even if didn't get 20 games out of this, either it's just falsely recognizing it. At least maybe I'll get to play Metroid Prime Hunters with this, so that will be cool. I haven't ever played Metroid Prime Hunters or many Metroid games before, so we're gonna right. It says an error has occurred. Press and hold the power button to turn the system off. Please refer to the operation manual for details. Right, okay. Well, that's useless. That's just not going to work, is it? That's not what I wanted this video to be. I'm just going to turn this off. I'm guessing that's not going to suddenly bring up all the games. Yeah, it's just blank. I turned off my 3DS. Well, that's useless. That's not going to do at all. Okay. What should we do here? Is there any manual that came with this? No, there's no manual. I don't know if I have the manual for the actual 3DS itself. You got the original 3DS box over here. Just gonna open this up. I forgot I had this stuff. Oh, it's just random packaging. Okay, yeah, this is not gonna help me. And we're gonna try it again up in my room. We're gonna try to do some Google searching on how to use this. Maybe we'll be able to find out together how we'll be able to use this little device and get all the free games that I was promised, even if they're most likely, you know, hacked ROMs and probably not legally ambiguous to say the least. I don't know. So anyway, we're just gonna stop this right here and take this all upstairs. Okay, so here we are up in my room now, and I'm just trying to get this thing working, because here on the box, if you can see, it does actually have a URL. So I was wondering if I could use that. Just here we have the https www.r4i-advanced.com. I'm just going to try to put that into Google and see what we can do, kind of. Here we have the cartridge. And one thing that I also found that might be useful is, so this is obviously some kind of adapter to turn a micro SD card into a DS cartridge, so we can put those, whatever data you put on the DS cartridge, into your DS easily. And another thing I found was, one thing I found was this kind of micro SD to SD card adapter. So then I can put the micro SD from here into the SD card here, and then I can put this SD card into my computer and get all the files I need, and then put those files back into the SD card, and then take this out and then put it into the DS card, and then hopefully put that in the DS, and then hopefully all things planned, that should work perfectly just fine, and I'll finally be able to play the games that I was promised. So yeah, if I open up a new window now, we've got this, and I just search up, then, oh, it seems, okay, it seems I have been swindled. Okay, so I managed to find this on Web Archive. If I just put the URL into Web Archive, then it managed to get me to this page, and then hopefully from here, even if this looks like a really dodgy site, I can try to get everything up and running. So if I just quickly press download there, yeah, okay, so these are just the files that would work on the DS. Okay, yeah, hopefully here. When I saw this, I thought I have to get it. It's got 20 or more games. Jesus. Wow, that is not what I wanted to happen.